Today I'm going to be cleaning off one of my heavier used boots, and this is a Timberland boot. I am going to be using this Obenauf'S heavy duty leather preservative. Now this leather preservative here, obviously your boot has to be clean. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my leather boot, and all these cuts, nicks, and everything in between here that like has rubbed off any of the outer protective portion of the actual leather, and also where it's really dried off. So all these sections here, all this, I'm definitely going to be treating. So it's really important that you treat your leather. It's almost like putting lotion on your skin. Make sure you do it, or if not, you're gonna have dry skin. One of my heavier used boots, I wouldn't just directly come in here, apply the Obenauf'S right to it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the shoelaces, pull off all the shoelaces, and I'm gonna get ready to clean this off. Okay, first and foremost, when you are cleaning a set of boots like these, you definitely wanna grab a toothbrush or something that you're not afraid that would damage the actual leather, and then you just go and start scrubbing. And then you want to take off as much as the actual dirt as you can. In between these guys, you want to clean this off as much as possible. Definitely want to get all that dirt and grime off. I mean, it's too late right now, but yeah, most definitely I'm gonna leave these dry overnight. I'm gonna grab these guys and brush these off. See all that mud and everything that's coming out of there? These are pretty dirty, so I was thinking that I was gonna just brush these off, and with it just being brushed off, the mud and dirt and all that stuff, it was gonna be clean enough, but I definitely have to come in and just give it a little bit more love than I usually do, just because they're so dirty, the boots are. 100%. Even without the Obenauf'S right now, just because I got the leather wet, it's a little bit darker. So we identify that these are heavy use boots, so we're going to definitely put water and soap on them. I found that water and soap, especially leather friendly soap, that actually helps you take off most of the actual grime and dirt and all the other stuff that's built up on your actual leather boots, and water washes everything away. You can then dry it afterwards, but make sure that you don't get water inside the boot, and whatever water that is on your leather boots, make sure you let it dry completely. It doesn't matter if your boot actually stays a couple days drying more, just make sure that it does dry off, because water causes mold, and water is pretty bad when it comes down to leather boots. I'm gonna let this dry off for a couple of days, and then it's pretty dried off right now. I could probably hit it with the dryer, but I definitely wanted to get drier than this. You can see where I've lost some stitching. Just the boot itself has been pretty, actually it's been taken care of pretty good for like the years that I have been using these boots. This is a really very robust, very good set of boots. So I'm really surprised with these. I am gonna let this dry off. All right, so this is the oldest pair of boots that I do own. These are my Timberlands. These are low tops, and I had these for about close to 7 years, and the leather is pretty dry. Most of these buckles are falling off where they actually retain the shoelaces. One did fall off, and the leather is really dry, but it's actually as clean as I can get it. All this other stuff is kind of built into the actual leather itself. I couldn't get any of this off, and so if I scrub any more, I'm gonna definitely go really deep into the actual leather itself. So I don't want to do that. So clean off if they're, especially if they're like heavy use boots, clean them off as much as possible. When applying leather preservative onto heavy use boots, make sure you guys put enough of it. So actually be really generous, and when you're actually applying your coats, go ahead and dry them off and apply as many coats as you feel like the actual boots do need. Make sure you do follow up at least once a month or twice a month, but do take care of them because this is the best they've looked in a really long time, and continued with that trend. Cool, so that's it. I went double coats with the actual Obenauf. They look a lot better, but there's no actual protection here. Most of the actual top side of the leather is like completely ripped off. There's so much scarring in here that it kind of soaked in some of the leather preservative, and it'll kind of preserve this, but majority of these little pieces here are gonna fall off. So yeah, just continue using this as is, but it is a pretty worn out boot. Like that's pretty deep gouge onto the actual leather. It won't recover from that. The stitching is majority of it's gone. About from here to here, it's all rubbed off. So this piece of the boot might actually fall apart. Pieces fall off here and there, but can't really help that. But as far as the actual leather itself, this is how it's gonna look. Yeah, continue to maintain your boots. If you have a set that you don't want to get rid of and still want to maintain the actual leather, this is how you would do it.